Back to you, press X to start.
And now that we're all introduced, we're going to go into what we've been playing. And to start it off, Jordan, what you been playing?
Well, over the last 2 weeks, and we did not do a what we have been playing last time. I've been playing a pretty good amount, but I'll try to keep it as succinct as possible. I beat Hitman 3, and
wow.
it was a great game. I think overall, like the main story thread probably take you about 6 hours. But in terms of going through each one of the levels again, through different methods, you're looking at about a 30-hour experience. You're trying to get all the challenges done. Do I do it with Hitman games? No. But I truly enjoyed the ride. And I tell you what, that last sequence was hilarious. Basically, it's just Agent 47 just killing everyone. Like, fuck stealth. You got yourself a gun, a shotgun, and you're killing everybody in the room because of what they did to you. So, yeah, that was a great game. And I'm super excited about IO's future.
No one tickles my nipples. Everyone must.
IO's future with the James Bond property. We'll see what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I finally beat Doom Eternal after a full year of having it on my hard drive. And that little robot in your base was never used. So I was super anxious about that during my whole playthrough. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. All the levels throughout Doom Eternal were very elaborate, except for the last two. And even going back to the last two bosses, I mean, it was kind of shoot it, and then you do like this little trick thing, and you punch it, shoot it, trick, punch, over and over again. So like in terms of the complexity behind their bosses, it just wasn't. I mean, like it left a lot to desire. And the last boss is just shooting at it. Like you're just shooting all of your guns. You're dodging, shooting. And the life system, you almost never die or have to restart the game. Restart from a checkpoint. So, I mean, I beat it on like normal. I'll probably go through. I'm not gonna do ultra hard. I'm not gonna do ultra nightmare mode like a fucking crazy person. Because ultra nightmare mode is when you die, the whole save restarts. You go back to the first level at the beginning, no matter where you are. So probably just do a regular old nightmare mode, which is very much so staggering enemies and using them for health over and over again. Like it's pretty simple, but very fun. And also, the game has in-game cheat codes you're able to unlock throughout the campaign. So at the work one day, if I'm trying to be, God to these demons, I just put in like the invincibility, no ammo, light machine gun, and I just, unload.
Okay.
But yeah, Doom Eternal is great.
Anyway, so I started shooting.
Doom Eternal is great. I highly recommend getting it, and I think it'll be a few years till we see, maybe a couple years until we see the next iteration done by Bethesda Studios of the Doom series. And I haven't played the DLCs, but I'll probably play the DLCs later.
Okay.
Last time I started a new game that was on Game Pass called The Tourist. Simple.
I heard Gamecast. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. It's called The Tourist. Beautiful game. It's in 4K, 60 frames per second, locked. Like there's a Bloxy, type of puzzle game. You just go for like it's basically like a roguelike mixed with like a regular puzzle game.
Yeah, like when you were talking about this, I was kind of shocked when I looked it up and I saw like art style. It's like, oh, this is not what I expected.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful game. Yeah. And you just go from island to island solving puzzles, But yeah, I'm just working through that. It's not a long game either. It's like 5 hours long. Also, I play Gears Tactics, which comes with Game Pass, and Xbox owned the Coalition and all that. So a lot of these first-party Xbox studios have all their games on Game Pass. And Gears Tactics, Donald, is very much similar to XCOM. Like that style of RTS real-time strategy game, but it's way faster though, way faster. The way their Overwatch system, I don't know if you played XCOM yet, but their Overwatch system is very different, to which is a field of view type setup. And if you were to be caught within the Overwatch while they're moving, they'll be interrupted and they can no longer get into cover. It's very quick. You have executions, you have your chainsaw, lancers and stuff like that. It's very fun, but very challenging too. I'm playing it on normal mode, and the game gets you sweating. Like you will sometimes be like to the last mag in some situations, and you got to make some pretty tough calls. I've used certain gears to like trigger overwatches. Like if a person I was controlling or a person on my squad was quote unquote weaker or more expendable, I'm like, all right, you're up next. Just throw them right in the Overwatch and make sure the veterans survive because I can't go without someone that's ranked up. So, yeah. So I mean, if you ever were to experience that style of RTS, I would highly recommend Gears Tactics. And
Gotcha.
finally, I've been playing Yakuza 0. Kiryu is the best video game protagonist in video game history. He is.
Wow, just to hell with Marcus from
the game is. It's so sincere in how it establishes itself. Like Kiryu is like this former Yakuza, but due to certain circumstances, he had to lead the organization. And the reason why he's leaving is very much so for someone that he trusts, someone that he's very appreciative of, basically a mentor of his, who was proxy to a crime that Kiryu was being accused of doing, a murder. And the game is just like you're walking around this entertainment district within Yokohama, and you are solving people's problems, but their problems are just so weird and strange and just off the cuff. Like this one mission had me make this woman a better dominatrix. She did not have the quote unquote confidence or skill level to be a proper dominatrix. And
always an issue too.
Yeah, like basically, Kiryu like here's her out and says like, okay, you can try it on me. Like in terms of like which was to say to someone and stuff like that, and it was just a weird, sincere moment that happens time and time again. Like Hero just goes around helping people, and
it sounds. Yakuza sounds kind of like a certain type of slice of life action anime that was really popular in like the 90s with your GTOs and stuff like that. Great teacher on Onizuka and stuff like that, where it feels very like
what
action
all these
heavy.
Words you're saying?
Well, it's just like there's a certain type of slice of life anime that also had action in it, but whenever they would do those like side episodes where they were doing really sincere, heartfelt things, to offset some of the action and sometimes blending with the action for comedic purposes. That's what Yakuza sounds like, especially Yakuza 0.
It's a great game. And the story thread of the main character is, pretty elaborate. So that's all I have to say for Yakuza 0. And as I work through the remaining Yakuzas, you'll hear about them too, because there's 6 of them right now I have to work through. But that's all.
Good Lord. There's so many Yakuza games.
Anyway.
All right. Next up, me, and the only thing
Marcus,
that
you been playing?
The only thing that I got to talk about, except for Outriders, which we'll get to later, is
Outriders. I just wanted to do it.
Is the Ghostrunner demo, because I was
that's the game that was built from like the one person, right? That's the first person shooter.
Ninja it's like first person. Yeah, that's the one. And I was just like on PlayStation Store, and I wasn't feeling like playing Overwatch, and I was like, let me see if there's any demos that look interesting, because I was also waiting for the Outriders demo to drop, but it hadn't yet. And so I was like, all right, let me check out Ghostrunner just because. And I played.
Just sit there and wait for that thing to drop. I'm sorry, continue.
And I played like 5 minutes of that demo, and I deleted that joint off my system because I hate the way that it controls.
Oh no, that's not what I was expecting.
It just would do. The control, like, I'm usually not a big stickler for controls. Like, as long as it controls fine, you know me, I mostly play games for the story and the characters, so I can deal with whatever controls as long as the story and stuff is engaging. For this, clearly the control scheme and like the kinetic action is the main thing. And just the way that the game is mapped out from a control standpoint, I just didn't really like it, especially because it's first person. And so they rely on you dodging because you can't really jump like that, and it's just weird. Like, it feels like it should have been a side scroller or like a roguelike, but they made it a first person game for whatever reason, and so the controls being first person is very disorienting. And like, there was a section that I couldn't get by because every time I was trying to dodge one person's stuff, I was getting shot from another direction, and there's a cooldown on your dodges, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, thankfully it was a demo and I paid nothing for it, so I couldn't be too mad at it. I was just like, all right, well, wasn't for me. On to the next. So, yeah, that was all I've been playing.
Okay. So for me, I went back to
DJ, what you been playing?
Thank you for asking, Marcus. Since you asked, I went back to Animal Crossing because I was under the assumption from somewhere that the new Mario content was going to drop on the 27th of February. So I opened it up to find out that I was actually incorrect. And
you've been bamboozled.
And Mr. Tom Nook was trying to entice me to buy more storage space for my house because he knew that I was completely filled up, like to the brim. Like, I couldn't accept anything from the ground. Nothing. Turns out it costs 500,000 bells. And
damn,
my God.
Yeah. And
did he already just give you the space and bill you for it?
No, he wants the money first.
I noticed you need some space over there.
No, that's basically how he was introducing it. But I went to my bank and I was like, oh, how much money do I have? Because I haven't played this in a long time. I have 14 million bells. I was like, you could take the 500,000. I don't give a fuck. So I got that.
1% of shit.
I literally got the space and I turned it off and I was like, I'll see you in March 1st when I get the Mario content. The other game that I played that is not Outriders is, as I said in my AKA, Mass Builders. You're wondering what is Mass Builders. I'll tell you. Mass stands for Mechanical Assault Skeleton Suit. And then
I'm already bored.
Fuck you, okay? Mass Builders is basically the Armored Core game that I wanted in the visual style of the old Sonic game, the old Sega game, Virtua On. This game looks...
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. Virtua On was a arcade game where you played as like really colorful and poppy like robots, and you like dashing and shooting and dashing. Anyways, Mass Builders is basically the combination of the art style of Virtua On with the depth of Armored Core in terms of the customization and the different ways you can like spec out your mass suit or whatever they call it in this game. It's really cool. It's really fun. It's on Steam. It's not on consoles, and it's in early access. And it was about $20. So far, I've played about maybe about like 8 hours or so of it, and I'm having a good time. This game offers a level of customization that I didn't know that I want, and now that I have this, I don't know how I'm going to react to the next Armored Core game, because that's supposed to be happening from Software sometime. In this
sometime. Emphasis on the sometime.
So in this game, you can create melee weapons, and they break it down by you have a handle and then you have the actual attack part of the melee weapon. So I had a melee weapon that was just a handle and two mace balls on the left and right of the pommel. And it's just like, it's this weird, awkward.
So it's a dick.
It's a spike ball. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to go there, Marcus, but you got there first.
I had no plans when I started, but then when I ended, I realized, yes. But the game is really fun. It's there is a story, but it's a very anime story, so it's not. Don't expect to be like astounded by the character building and all that stuff. No.
You know what? I thought about sending you that 13 Sentinels Aegis game.
I looked at that and I think it looks cool. I was a little off put by the actual combat.
Yeah, because it's a very different type of role.
Yeah, it's like pulled out and so,
but it got good reviews.
It did.
And there's some people that within that community that are loving that game.
I feel like it also got good reviews because the main characters in there are like half naked girls, half naked high school girls, and that's an issue.
Okay.
Well, are people really giving? Are like, if it got good reviews from like publications? I don't know if that would be why it would get good reviews, especially because the way people review games now.
I bet you would enjoy food a lot more if the plate was a naked girl, Marcus.
No, that's unsanitary. What the hell?
Donald, you're
in the middle of a pandemic?
What's wrong with you?
You have bad analogies.
You should feel bad.
What else?
Yeah. But that's it.
DJ?
That's all I've been.
Well, I've been playing Spelunky too. Gosh darn it. And it has an online component. And I was tired of dying by myself one day and I said, hey, let me try it online.
Misery loves company.
Wouldn't you know, I got paired with some people that knew what the hell they were doing. My guy, they took me to places I had never seen before.
Oh,
I can show you the world.
Yes, I felt like I may have to give up some cheeks after this because they pretty much flew me out.
Oh my!
And showed me. They took me to a restaurant. They have a club in the game that you can go to. I'd never been. They pretty much took me to every secret world possible in the game, and the whole time my mouth is just agape, just watching. Like, wow. I was supposed to be going to eat dinner, and Drea was like, "Come on, you ready to eat?" And I'm just like, "No, wait, I've never seen this before. Oh my god!" And then she sat down and started to watch because there is like 8 secret worlds in this game. Like you can beat it, and then there's still a bunch of shit after it. Like,
oh my!
If you want to, go the distance.
Which console are you playing it on?
PS4.
Okay.
And it's funny because the Reddit community says that Spelunky, the people who play it are very toxic. If you don't know what you're doing on there, they will whip you and try to kill you and all that good stuff. But these people are nice to me. They kept on trying to share resources with me, even though I was just pretty much a drag on their experience because I had no idea what they were doing.
Do you play as a black character when you play Spelunky?
I did unlock a black character, so yes.
Did they try to whip you as a black character? Because that would
no. You know what? You know what is funny? In the game, they have hired hands that you can get to help you carry stuff and do whatever. They also have leprechauns that you can kill, and I think you can get a pot of gold. Mm-hmm. And you beat the pot of gold to get the gold out. And I didn't realize that if you hit the hired hand enough times, he will retaliate and whip you back.
Kill your masters.
He has a chain whip and he beat the shit out of me. I could not.
Gosh.
I was highly upset.
I was waiting for when this is all presented on a naked body, but I didn't. You didn't get there. So
that is the other podcast, DJ. Anyway,
he went Django Unchained on your ass.
I also played GTA Online for the first time in 7 years.
Oh wow!
And I have. Well, I'm gonna get to how much I have in a second. I did one mission where it's almost like Fast and Furious 6, as we discussed, where they had this flip car, and we were escorting somebody from a bank heist, and our job was pretty much there was 2 flip cars in the lead and one car or one van with the bank robbers that were following us, and we were pretty much just flipping police out the way. This shit was pretty damn awesome. It reminded me why I liked it in the first place, because I'm level 38 on there, so I may play it a little bit more when they release the PS5 update, which will be free, Marcus. We can play.
Let's go.
I wish it was crossplay.
Huh? Yeah, I do wish there was crossplay.
It's not crossplay?
No,
yeah, it's fucking surprisingly not. Mm-mm.
Because
and there was no cross-gen
saves
progression either. So like I had played it. Well, I guess I do cross-platform because I played on the Xbox 360. But it's funny because I played with my friend last night who let me play Assassin's Creed Valhalla and all that, and Call of Duty and what have you. And he is just starting out in the game. And he's like, "Yo, I'm kind of broke. I don't got no, I don't got no money. I only got like 40,000." I was like, "Oh, I got like
1,000."
Yeah, I was like, "I got like 3 million." He was like, "What? Get out the car."
Can you believe that game has been around since 2013? It's been 8 years. It came out September 17th, 2013.
So get out your car. You're walking.
No. We got out the car and he shot me. He thought he could rob me, but my money is in the bank.
In the bank, yeah. You know what? Actually, Sean, that used to be a problem when it first came out. GTA Online was first a thing. People just straight up, like, people did not know how to use the bank system. They just kill you.
Oh, I learned immediately. Immediately.
like people speak beelines to the ATM. They're like,
well, it's like Joe Biden said, the minorities don't know how to use computers. So that's why
they're just as smart as
that's why people weren't putting money in banks at that period of time.
I thought there was like a second part to that, like a joke, but no.
Well, he did say poor people can be just as smart as white people, but I mean that's just old Joe talking.
The ironic part of that is most ATMs are located in poor communities, not actual bank branches.
Yep.
Joe Biden is an idiot. But continue.
But no, now you can actually deposit your money from your cell phone. You just go to the Maze Bank app. So that's pretty cool. I just played that a bit yesterday. That was pretty cool. I hadn't played in a while. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Blew up a couple people by accident. It is what it is.
When I would
by accident.
When I would go to the casino and just totally shit away my money, I just go like on a tear, robbing all the convenience stores. I got to make my money back. I
did not go to casino yet. I may do that tonight.
Yeah, bet on blackjack. I love it.
But anyway, as everybody alluded to a little bit earlier, I played the Outriders demo by myself, and then I was joined later with Marcus and DJ.
Hey, it's our first collective game in
a while
since Call of Duty.
245 days. I made that number.
Nah. We played other things. I guess not. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, dear listeners, this game is the product of when developers are just so proud of their work on the refrigerator. This game is proud of itself. It doesn't feel cool to me. The game feels cool to itself.
Yep.
But wait. The question is, what is Outriders? What are Outriders? Where is Outriders?
And the answer is your question. Your guess is as good as mine because I have no idea. We played that game for at least 2 hours together, and
we played it until about 2:30 in the morning.
Yep, and neither one of us could tell you what an Outrider is.
So, Outriders. What is Outriders? Outriders is the new games of service game from people can fly.
People can fly.
Yeah. They made one.
But you would have thought it was made by the people who did Technoman, because this game feels like if that company, I think Spiders, made a Gears of War game.
Yeah,
this is how that game feels.
We call people who walk because there's no flying in this game. More jumping.
There ain't any jumping in the game. Exactly. Good Lord.
Yeah. So these same people that made Bulletstorm, and this is the
Cliffy B.
There you go, Cliffy B. Yeah, as Sean said, this is not a good game.
Nope.
But
no, it's not.
To them, this is a great game.
And the thing is, on the single player side of things, the game is mediocre. But the moment you come together in multiplayer, that game collapses in on itself.
Yeah, it is bad. So yes, because I watched the Outriders stream before downloading the demo, and they made a note that before you buy the game, they want to make sure that you understand the experience you're going to get. And that they're basically alluding to what Cyberpunk did in terms of hiding the fact that the older console versions are not great.
Don't come fucking asking for your money back now. You know what you signed up for.
And boy, so again, what is Outriders? Outriders is the accumulation of Division in terms of the loot system. It's accumulation of Destiny in terms of the UI and the fact that you have powers, but it's third person. It's cover based like Gears of War, and then it just does all those.
But it wants you to be aggressive like Doom.
Yes. It basically takes all those things, and it's just really subpar versions of each one of those things, and they just push that together and put duct tape around the whole thing, and they call it Outriders. It's not.
By our mediocre powers combined, we are.
And it has the main character of a really bad 90s action movie.
Man.
So the actual gameplay, the one thing that I will say is a positive of this of the game is that they want you to combo the different classes together to do combos, and when it works, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only problem is the way that they level the actual enemies, depending on it's a weird thing where it's not like a average of the levels, which equates to how strong the enemies are. It scales up to the highest person level is what it felt like for me anyways, because when I jumped in with Sean, you and Marcus were at a higher level than me, and I felt like my class
had like 2 levels though.
Even the 2 levels felt like staggering, because like my class was a Devastator, so I was supposed to be the quote unquote tank.
Yeah,
and my ass was getting tanked by everything.
Yeah,
but yeah. So in terms of the classes, there's a Devastator, there's a Pyromancer, there's a Trickster, and then there's the Technomancer.
Technomancer. Yeah.
Is the Trickster black?
How dare you?
For nothing.
Oh, by the way, we should let it be known that we all initially played with our first characters that we made, and then we decided to make new characters to try out the other classes.
Yes.
And I had a strong black woman named Petunia.
Mine was named Arya.
No. Name your second character, DJ.
I had a strong Asian woman named Jamaica.
I had a white man with dreads named Barbados Slim.
my first character's name was LeCarpatron Duke Marriott, but but like I actually fully agree with DJ in terms of like when the power sets like came together, because they do have somewhat of a combo system, if you will. Yeah. And when you can actually put the powers together, like, you know, the Trickster class being able to like stop down time, or rather slow down time.
Yeah.
And then you could combine that with like having 2 Tricksters on the field is OP.
Yeah. You don't need the other classes.
You're wiping everybody.
I feel like it was built around that first. That was like the first.
Yeah, it very clearly was built around the Trickster class, because every other class is subpar in comparison. But even still, like if you have the Trickster slow down, and then you have like the Pyromancer, and you could like burn them up while they're slowed down. So things can work in tandem pretty cool. And then also I'll give it props that you can actually change your appearance whenever you want, because that's one of the things that's always annoyed me with create a character games, where it's like, it's a small detail, but one of my favorite mechanics in a create a character situation, well, not create a character, but like character customization, was in The Witcher 3, where over time your facial hair and your hair will grow, or with Red Dead did the same thing. Yeah. And I've always liked that if you can't do that, then I can still change my appearance and like give myself a beard or whatever. But so I'll give that.
You can straight up change your race.
Yes, you can straight up. Yeah. But
and the other cool thing is that the main characters are actually voiced. So
they're voiced.
But yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to bring out positives, because not many.
Yeah, this game is super mediocre, and that's putting it nicely. And I mean, honestly, you're adults listening to this, so you can do what you want. But we personally wouldn't recommend dropping $60 on this. This would be a $25 purchase at best, but chances are you're better off if you really are curious trying out the demo or waiting until it inevitably becomes a free PlayStation Plus game.
If you want to see on-the-fly analyzation of this game, watch us roasting this game on Twitch.
Yes.
Because I have a good 2.5 hours of us playing on Twitch. I may upload it to YouTube if Twitch isn't your thing. But we are.
Yeah, we'll definitely get it up on
the late night giggle session.
We'll definitely get it up on IG and YouTube though, because it's definitely worth the watch because we are making fun and poking fun the entire time.
Exactly. Yeah. But that is what we've been playing. And before we go any further, we are going to give a short leg update. Oh, never mind. We are not doing that. So now that we've okay.
That was a short update.